Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our help desk management system. And as you can see, this is our application. And for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing and following our previous episode 1 of this video. So as you can see, we have our help desk management system. On our previous video, we did a register user account. So here you are able to provide the username. So you can say here test, provide here test, the last name test, then gender we say male, country we can do here Kenya, then city we can say Nairobi, email address we can do test gmail.com. Let's just do test1. Then we can provide the password. Then we can also confirm the password. So we were able to deal with this. So if we click register, then our user account will be created. So we were able to link this to the database, and you can see we are already logged in with our new password. So if you go to the database, we were able to see all the details. So we can go to our, so where is our database? So our database here is our help desk. So you can say sample help desk. Yes, so this is the database. So if we go to the database and check under users, we should be able to see the users that we registered. So that is what we did on our previous video. So as you can see, we'll be able to see now our test account here. We have our test at Gmail. Then we added some additional fields. So as you can see, we added the city name, we added the country, first name, gender, last name, and the middle name. So this shows us how to extend the ASP.NET users table with certain additional columns. So if you want to see how that is done, so you can actually watch our previous episode and you can follow the video. So as you can see on this video, our register account look this way. So you can actually format this to have two rows. I mean two columns. So I'm going here to do, let's just do this to MD12. Then here I'll just do here call. So I can copy this, then I can say, can have this to, let's just do 6 here. Can close this. Let me just copy here, and I'm going to zoom this so that you're able to see. Then I'm also closing this, so let's just do div. Then I can also do here div. So I'm going to do that. So I can do div. Then I can also do this. So I want to arrange this based on my, so I can do that. Can also do here div. Then you can close this. So if you're following this video, comment down below on what you want us to cover on this video, and we will be happy to do so. So I'm going to also close this here, and I'm going to have this that way. Then you can also close it here. I'm going to close it that way. Then here we're going to do it that way. Then you can also can close it. So this is our confirm password. This is our last field. So I'm going to have it that way. So if I just format this, so we actually need this to be, so here we need to have this as 6. Here we need to have this as 6. So ensure we are convert this, we have it as 6. So I want us to have 2. So I can do that. Sorry. So I can also do this here. Can also do this here. Can do this here. Then we can, so I want to remove this. So I'm going to remove this. So our div here will be actually div that is okay. So if we just launch our app, we should now be able to have our 2 columns with our fields. So, and we can always use that layout in our registration forms going forward. So today I want us to do something interesting. I want us to introduce some new models and actually map those models to our database. So if I just do register, you'll notice, so we need to, yeah, there's something here we need to do. So this is, let's do MD. So we need to do something here. Let's just do div class. Then we can say, then we can do here. So this should be class. sorry. So that is, let's just do class. Then here we can do row. So I'm going to close it here. Then I should actually remove that and paste it down here. So we need to have that in our class. So if I do that, and I can actually update our application, then we should be having our forms in 2 columns. So first name, middle name, last name. That is how we want it. So you can see it now looks a bit better. So you can also now register a user. But now I want us to introduce some critical things. So we are doing an help desk management system. So we created our user. So if we go to our application, go to the models, you will see that we have some additional. So we created a model called, so here is our application user model that actually extended the identity user, and we added these additional columns. So you can also see our previous video to get understanding of how this works. So the next thing that we need to do, I want us to now create a table for tickets. So let's create a new model. So I'm going to do here new. Then I'll just do new class. Then we can say this is ticket. So I'm going to introduce here ticket. So I'll say ticket. Then I'll close that. So in our ticket model, I'm going to have some few properties. So I'll say public. So we can say int. Then you can say ticket ID. So we can actually say this is ID. Let's just do ID. Then we can do that. Then we want to define other things. So I'm going to define the title. So I'm going to say here the string. So the ticket title, you can say title. Then we can also do other thing. We can say the ticket description. You can say description. So this is description. So we can also do something here. You can say this is string. And you can say this is, so we can do here, you can say here status. So you can say here status of our ticket. You can also do something else. So you can say priority. So you can do priority. Then you can also do here, you can say string created by ID. So we need to know the person who created. So, and this one will be a foreign key. So I'm going to do public. Then I'll just do application user. So this is application user. Then we can say created by. So this will be our created by. Then we can do get. So here we'll do get set. So that is our application created by account. So the next thing that we need is we can do the timestamp when it was created. So we can do public date time. So we can do date time, and you can do created on. So that is it. So we now have our, so I can close it that way. So the next thing that we need to do is to have that in our application DB context. So we need to go to our application DB context and we need to map it that way. So what we also need to do, let's go to our application DB context here. Then we can do here public. So you can say DB set. Then we can pass our model ticket. So we can do ticket. Then you can say that the tickets is our table. So then the next thing that I want us to do, I want us to introduce something here. We can say protected. So we can say protected override. Then void. Can do on model create builder. So that is it. So once we do that, I want us to introduce something here. So I'll say here builder. So I'll say builder. So I'll do builder. Then you can say dot entity. So I can say entity ticket. Then I can say here dot as one. So as one. So as one. So this can be. So I'll say here c dot created by. So as one created by, and we can also do dot as with, you can say with many. So you can do that. Then you can also do as foreign key. So you can do c dot created by ID. So we can do that. Then I can also do, we can say dot on delete. So I can say on delete. Can do restrict. We can do here restrict. So once we have done that, I want us to now add migrations. So to add migrations, go to tools, then NuGet package manager console. Then we'll have this particular window down here. So you can say add migration. Then you give the name of the migration. So you can say tickets, press enter. So this will add our new migration file. And we are good now to update the database and have our table already generated. So let's just see. So that is build succeeded. So if you're new to this channel and you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. So please consider subscribing and like our videos. So we'll just do update database as our second command. So I'll update data. So this will be database. So if we press enter, this database will be created called tickets. And we should now be able to scaffold and now create tickets within our application. So you can see these commands is actually creating a table. So if we go to our database and refresh, we should be able to see we have a table called tickets. So you see, this is it. And if we select, we are now able to see we have some fields. So you see we have some fields here. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to scaffold. So we can scaffold this. So I'm going to say new. Then, so let me just click on views. Then I can say new scaffolded item. Then I'm going to say MVC controller views using entity framework. Then I can do here models. Then I select my model. Then the DB context, I can select my application DB context. Then our controller name will be tickets controller. So if we just add, it will actually generate the controller and the views that we need to use for our tickets creation, editing, viewing, and even updating. So all those codes will be generated and we should be good to go. So let's just wait and see. So you can see it is actually generating the code. So for those who are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like our video, and comment down below. So you can see our code has been generated. So we have our code here and we have our tickets controller. Then we have so here we have our folder called tickets. So if I just go back, you see we have tickets. Then this controller here, we should actually have it at the top here. And just move it there. So yes. So if we go here, we should be able to see we have our tickets controller. So if we launch our application, we should be able now to create the tickets that we've just created. So we should now do accrued tickets management and be able to edit, delete, and even update our tickets. So let's just launch and see. So there we go. So to access that, if I just do here tickets, so you can see we don't have the section to control and click. But if we do tickets, just /tickets, you'll see it will actually give us the form to do that. So if I just say create new, it will give me the form to create the tickets. And you can see here, the created by is linked to our users accounts. We can be able to select the users, but you see these created by ID, they are not making any meaningful information. So we need to provide here the name of the users who are actually creating. So what we need to do is, one, we need to go to our layout, shared layout, and within our shared layout, we need to provide our navigation link. So you can see here we have the home and privacy. So the next thing that I want to provide here is I want us now to link this to our tickets. So I'll just do here controller, I say here tickets. Then the next thing here, I'll say index. So I'll say tickets. So these, the name will be tickets. Then our action point will be index. So if we do that, I also want us to change something. If we go to our tickets and create action, you'll notice that when we click on create, it gives us the create IDs, but we don't want the user IDs. We want the full name. So if we go to full name, so let me just go back to the application user model. Then you will notice that we have the way to display the full names. You see, this is the full name. So we can reference that on our tickets controller. So instead of ID, we place here full name. So it will show it will actually give us full name instead of IDs. So everywhere we have the ID, we change that to full name. So you can actually do that, and don't replace the ID. This is the ID that we are going to save to the database. So we need that. So after we do that, I'm going now to launch my application. We should now be able to navigate through the tickets, and we should create a ticket using our application. So if you are following this video and it's getting interesting, subscribe and like our video. So you can see here now we have the tickets section. If I click tickets, it will give me the list. So you see, this is the list. And if I click the button create, then I'm able to have the ticket, description, status, priority, and the created by. We now have the names of the users. So I'm going to say this is support. Then I'll say error during login. Then I can say the status is pending. So I'll also will be modifying these statuses to ensure that everyone doesn't provide their own statuses. I'll show you how we can do that. So I'll say high priority. So then here I'll say this is James. And also we need to know, for the person who is creating, you should not be able to provide these details. We should be able to link this with the person who is logged in. So stay posted, and we are going to show you how to do that. So if I click create, our application should actually create, but this is not happening. Why? So let's go to that. So if you try to create, it will not create. So I'm going to the create section here. Then I'm going to remove this binding. So I'll remove that binding. Then for where the issue is actually on this model state dot validate. So I'm going to either remove, so I'm going to remove this for now so that I show you how that works. But you can always validate using a different approach, using either MVVM pattern, so that you also have all these validated. But for now, let's just remove that. So that is where our issue is. So I'm going to do that. Then I'll just say tickets. So if I click on create index, provide the title. So I'll say support. Then I say error during login. So error during login, status is pending. I'll say high priority. Then the person creating is James. Then I'll say this was the date created. So if I click create, our application will now create our tickets. So you see we have our ticket here now. So, but now there's one thing, you see, we created, and when we were able to choose the name of the user, but here it is displaying the ID. So we need to change that also. So let's go back to our index. So under tickets, so then index page, change the created by here. change this to have the full name. So then update our application, and we should be able now to see, instead of the ID, we now have the full name. You see, this is the full name. So we can also change the UI on this dashboard. So let's create another ticket. We say access to application. Then you can say error accessing the application. Then you can, so you can say accessing. Then you can say pending. Then here we can say high priority. It was created. Let's choose someone else. Test. Then if we choose the date and we say create, then we have our ticket. So let's just make this a bit more appealing. So I'm going to the index. Then on the index here, I'm going to choose something here. So instead of having this as index, we can say tickets. So we can say tickets list. Then this one is our button. So I want us to have this as a, so you can choose here to have a class. We say btn. Then you can say primary. So we can have this as our button. Then you can say add new ticket. So that is our button. So if we just update this, we should be able to see that we have, so this is now the tickets, and you see our button is add new tickets. You can also change this other section, edit details and delete. So let's go there. So I'm going to change this to view the table header. Then I'll add another one here called, so I'm going to copy this. Then I'll add another one called here edit. Then I'm also going to add another one called delete. So after that, I'll now separate this into 3. So I'll just do that. So we have view. So this one will be details. The first one will be details. So we are going to leave the details there. Then the second one is edit. So we are going to leave edits there. Then the last one is delete. So if we format our application, you'll see we have now the details, edit, and delete, which now translate to these table headers. So we can also do here class. So I can do here, can just have here class. Then you can say this is btn. So for the view, we can do it as can say warning. Then edit, you can do here class. Then you can say btn primary. Then you can also do these other as class. So you can do btn, then you can say danger. So this is for button of, or the delete button. So if we do that, then we should be able to update our application, and it should now reflect with some new buttons. So let's just check if that, so we need to reload. So let's just relaunch. So that will now work with the new buttons, and we can now do some additional information. So let's just see how our UI looks like. So there we go. If we do tickets, then we should be able to see the list. So you can see we now have our list of buttons. So if I just add a new ticket, I can say here support, then I can do, can say error. So I'm going just to provide some information. Then I just want some data, so we see how it looks like. So it's a create, you can do another one, can say support. So you can do here error, then you can do pending, then you can say here. So if we do that, we create. So this is how our application now looks like. So you can also add numbering here. For example, if we want to know the IDs. So we go back to our table, and here we can actually introduce here. We say, we do that, then we say this is ID. Then we go here to the table data, and we can introduce the table data called ID. So I'm going to have that as, sorry. So I'm going to add this as ID. So if we update, our application will now change and we'll have a new column with the IDs. As you can see, it is now 1, 2. So, but you can see there is something happening. The way this is ordered, you see it is support, and the numbers are 1, 3, 4, 2. So we can actually order this list based on what? Based on the last one to come in. So assuming you want to attend to tickets based on their orders. So we can actually order this. So we can even order based on the date it was created. So let's just go back to our controller. On our list of, so you can see under index, we can say this is, so you can say variable tickets. So we can change that. Then you can say here to list async. So you can do that. Then if we do to list async, then under view, we can actually replace that with this. But now I usually like the dot per line rule, so that it's more readable. So I do that. But if you do this, I can also maybe say here dot order. So you can see order descending. So if we do that, you can say order descending, and you can actually say we can order by, sorry. So, or you can say order by. So let's just say order by, and you can say x equals to x dot. So we can order by the created on. So if we do that, let's just launch our app and see how that works. So we can order by created on. So let's see how the application will do. So you can actually do that if you want to order the list based on certain fields. So if I click on tickets, there we go. So there is something wrong. So you say runtime. So let's just see. So you can say this is index. So yes, so here we need to say await. So we need to do here await. So let's just do that. So if we do that, let's relaunch our application. Then we need to preview. So for those who are watching and following the video up to this point and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and take us to 4,000 subscribers. So as you can see now, our application is ordered, and you can see now it is 1, 2, 3, 4 based on what we need. So that is how our app looks. So you can also do some tweaks to the table, assuming, for example, on our index. So let's just go to our index. So we can put in some bootstrap. So you can say here table bordered. You can also do table. So you can do table responsive. You can also do table. You can do table hoover. You can also do table. So there's a lot of so let's just do that. So if I just launch our app, you'll notice that the table looks a bit different and it is a bit unique. So let's just launch and see. So that's how you can do styling to your list of information. So let's just launch our app. So as you can see, we now have our table which is actually bordered and it is actually hoovered. So every time I hover on it, you're able to see that you're able to see the row that I am in. Then if you click on details, you can see we have the details. If you go back to the list, you can do edit. You see we have all the details selected. If you go to delete, you can actually delete. So if I click delete, you can see the records are deleted. So I'm going to leave it there for this video. So remember, we are going to build a complete help desk management system for those who are following. Remember to subscribe, like the video, and see you in our next video. Bye.